Hi everyone, welcome to Dhamma Earth's Dose of Dhamma, and this is your dose of Dhamma for today. So previously, we were talking about how the Buddha gem, the Buddha Ratana, and the Dhamma gem, Dhamma Ratana, is a help to the world. Okay, today we're gonna discuss a little bit about how the Sangha gem, the Sangha Ratana, can help the world. Okay. So previously we understood that the Buddha, like the great physician, okay, prescribes the Dhamma to many beings to relieve them of their sickness of the mind. Right? So just like in the world, if there is only one doctor and if the doctor doesn't pass down the knowledge, then later generations will have no access to the benefits of the great medicines, right? So similarly, the Buddha, after attaining full enlightenment, then wanted to spread the Dhamma, wanted to let beings understand that, hey, there is a medicine that is ultimate and is able to solve your problems, solve your defilements, solve your sufferings of the mind at the root. Not just relieve symptoms, but at the root, right? So with that, the Buddha, after attaining full enlightenment, after spending 49 days around the precinct of the Bodhi tree to expound the Dhamma to the group of 5 bhikkhus. Those were the first 5 bhikkhus, disciples of the Buddha. Okay? And that was when the Buddha turned the Dhamma wheel in motion. Okay? And in the Theravada tradition, we have the chanting of the Dhammacakka Sutta, where the wheel turning in motion, the Dhamma wheel turning in motion Sutta. Okay? That is where the Buddha first expound the Four Noble Truths. Okay, and beings start enlightenment. So the first being that started enlightenment was Venerable Anyasi Kondanya. Right? So with that, because of the enlightenment of Venerable Anyasi Kondanya, it actually is a very memorable occasion. So that's why for those who go on pilgrimage, if you guys go to go to Sarnath, go, and then after that, go to Isipatane and go to the site of the Dhamma wheel turning in motion place, one of the 4 holy places. And when we recall that this was the place when beings see hope for the first time after so many, maybe 100,000 million years. Hope of what? Hope of enlightenment. Hope of ultimately relieving all our sufferings at the root. Now, we have many new age techniques that seeks to also to relieve sufferings from sicknesses of the mind for a lot of people nowadays, but to solve it at the root, looking at it from a very deep perspective of samsara, of karma, of the laws of nature. So this was all only possible when the Buddha expounded the Dhamma and when beings get enlightenment. Okay, so the enlightenment of Venerable Anyasi Kondanya is a very special occasion. It is an occasion where we see hope for our sufferings in our mind, for the sickness in our mind. Wonderful. Okay, and from then on, the Buddha, after helping the 5 bhikkhus to attain enlightenment up to arahantship, solving all defilements at the root, then after that, gradually 55 yasa and 55 friends, 54, 55 friends. And then after that, they went to spread the Dhamma all around Jambudvipa, which was ancient India. Okay, and then from generations to generations, from the Buddha's time up to now, 2000 over years later, after the Buddha's Mahaparinibbana, which was the Buddha's passing, venerables of disciples of the Buddha continue to try to practice or to learn about the teachings of the Buddha so that the teachings can be passed on and the practice can be passed on to the next generation, right? And throughout history, it has not been easy. Sometimes when the sasana, the dispensation of the Buddha is called sasana, or you can say the religion or something like that. So when it meets with friendly kings and friendly personnel and friendly environment, then it thrives. But sometimes when it meets with unpleasant or hostile kings or governments, people or country environment, then it was reduced so much that sometimes they even have to get monks from other countries to come over and to start to revive the tradition all over again. And not only that, the Sangha also met up with famines, with droughts. There was this one story, I cannot find a source for it, but it was given by one of the teachers. So they say that last time when there was a drought or famine in Sri Lanka. So the monks, in order to continue to memorize the teachings, because when you become a monk, then there's two things that you need to do. One is either to practice or the other one is to memorize and study the scriptures. Okay, so when there was famine or drought, then there was nothing to eat, right? But in order to continue to memorize and recite the teachings, so when you do this for a long time, your stomach, it is a burden on your stomach, right? So at that time, the monks, in order to continue with their memorizing and reciting, they lie down on the floor with their stomachs touching the floor, okay? And then continue reciting. Why is that so? Because probably the heat from the floor helps to relieve some of that burden and discomfort in the stomach, like that. So in order to preserve this wonderful Dhamma, this wonderful medicine that the Buddha has given to us generation after generation, Sangha has generation after generation sacrificed their lives practicing, memorizing, reciting, expounding, spreading, propagating this great medicine of the Buddha. Okay? And it is in this way, that the Sangha is of a help in the world. Even though people may say, the Sangha, some of the venerables, they just hide in the forest and they meditate until they die or things like that. Hey, but the Buddha has made the Sangha into such a wonderful mechanism that it will definitely be of help to the world. Why? Because one of the characteristics, one of the wonderful qualities of the Sangha is that it is an incomparable field of merit to the world, right? So when you want to do an offering, there are three things, three components. One is the donor, one is the thing to be given, the object or the gift to be given, and the next one is the receiver, right? So if there's no receiver, one cannot perform generosity, right? So even though the monks stay in the forest for maybe 10, 20 years, but every day they still have to go to the village for Pindapata. Isn't that so? So going for alms round alone is a benefit to the world because they allow people to perform generosity, which in turn help them with their present and future lives. And not only that, when monks go on alms round, and then they stop by the houses, they stand in front of the houses. And when the donors, they do the offerings, then they have the merits to share with their past departed relatives. And when they are able to do that, even the past departed relatives, if they are in a position to rejoice over that merit, they get benefit also. And also the animals that are around. For example, some dogs or maybe some cows. When they saw a monk going for alms round in the village, and they feel happy about it. Some dogs. When I last time when I go for alms round in Sri Lanka, there's a dog that always like to go under my lower robe. I don't know why. They always like to follow me. Always like to go under my lower robe. Although it's a little bit annoying, but dogs are dogs. Dogs will just be dogs. Playful dogs will be like that. I'm perfectly alright with that. So this dog, because of close association with monks, so it helps them. It helps to give them a good impression in the mind, and maybe at their last death moment, that may be the good karma that help them to get rebirth as a human or as a heavenly being after their dog life ends. Right? So no need for dogs. Other animals also. Okay. So it is in this way that, just for the forest monk, just by going for alms round in the village, is of tremendous help to the world already. What to say of those who have really attained noblehood and go out and spread the Dharma? It's wonderful, right? They spread about the medicine. They teach people. Sometimes they give that medicine of Dhamma to the people also, and people are relieved from the sickness of the mind because of that. And then they generate more respect because of that. And then they perform generosity. They help the monks. The monks help them with Dhamma. It is in this way that a healthy relationship between the lay devotees and the monks develop. It's a mutual benefit relationship, not just one-sided. Okay, but not many people can see that because they saw just monks just sitting and doing nothing the whole day. Well, that's what monks are supposed to be, sitting down, meditating, developing their samatha by abiding in nothing at the beginning, but gradually be able to develop their concentration through mindfulness or breathing meditation, and gradually maybe like kasinas, the 4 Brahma Viharas, and then ultimately being able to use that wonderful abiding of the mind, the jhanas as a basis, as a foundation, and ultimately practice samatha vipassana, ultimately practice vipassana meditation diligently. So monks are just sitting there. People may think, oh, what help do they have to the society? Here they have a lot of help to the society. And especially in Theravada, you see that a lot in Theravada countries. They are a source of peace and refuge to the people. And they help people to settle down their restlessness. They help people to attain peace in the mind. When people are peaceful in mind, the whole country is peaceful, right? But it's because of not implementing and not practicing that some countries have wars and things like that. From what we see now, it's not because of Dhamma. It's because people don't, even though it may be known as a Buddhist country, but if people don't practice Dhamma, practice as in keeping their precepts, developing good qualities, like that, and practicing samatha vipassana meditation diligently, then very difficult. Like that, huh? Okay, so hopefully these are some of the ways that the Sangha is of help to the world. So hopefully with this, wish all of you well, peaceful and happy. And may the Shupajan bless all of us to be able to attain path, fruition and nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.